So if you see me like start getting a lot of shave, let me know. Yeah. What happened? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Nintendo Flips. My name is Jens, and on my would you be on my left or my right?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
left, but on
okay.
there I'm on your right.
Okay, so the guy next to me over here is my best friend Edgar, and today we are talking about reselling and our little adventure that we have and our partnership that we have going. So today's video is just going to be a little bit about us, what we're doing, how we collect, how he works in this part of the world, and just get to know more of how he runs his business and the reselling. So if you want to introduce yourself a little bit.
Oh, my name's Edgar. I had a channel, still there, but I haven't made any videos lately. I changed it over to VG Flips now. So I'm going to start making more videos again. I had a lot of trouble trying to edit and stuff. I'm not that good. So he can do it. I can't do it.
I'm still working on it.
But I'm going to try to make more videos again. Hopefully me traveling to places and then being here and showing you guys the stuff I have. So fingers crossed. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Flipping isn't easy, guys. So I just wanted to kind of talk to him about it and see what what he thinks about it and his journey through being a reseller and just kind of building this massive collection that he has back here, which is pretty cool. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. So here we go. We got a bunch of questions that I kind of wrote. I just want to ask him so we can kind of get to know a little bit of what he does and his process of being a reseller. So first question that we got is when did you start flipping games and what got you into being a reseller of video games and other merchandise?
It's got to be at least 3 years ago, give or take. Really started. I had a good collection. I sold a bunch of it off, and then I was like, okay, well, I shouldn't have sold it off. So felt bad, obviously. And then I started watching. Was it Phoenix Resale? It was the Pixel Game Squad, and a little bit of Retro Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Game Chasers. Can't forget those guys. And they were collecting, and I was like, you know what? They were going to swap meets, and I was like, yeah, that's cool stuff to find. But these were like the older episodes, and then I started catching up. So I said, all right, let me see what I find. So I started very small amount of cash I had. I don't even remember how much it was. It'd be less than $100 probably. And I went to the swaps. I was going to garage sales, and I even went to estate sales in the beginning. And then I found a couple of things. And this is all part time. This is not full time at all. I don't do this full time. I can't do it. And I started finding some items. I did a couple of. Actually, I did a first video that he edited for me. Not you guys have ever seen it. And I found one game that was really cool, and I made a video, and I was like, hey, look, it's $20. And then he made fun of me saying he doesn't know this game is worth, I think it was like $800.
Yeah.
All right, to continue, that same pawn shop, this guy went to the back, and he's like, you know what, I think I have a couple of items. They really wanted to make sales and stuff like that. He brought me out this game for the Super Nintendo. I believe this one's called Hero Fighters on the SNES. I looked it up then, and I believe it is worth, I want to say $20 online. But I got it for $3, so it's not too bad for a Super Nintendo game. So I looked it up later, and I was like, oh, I got lucky with this game, and I paid $3 for it. Yeah, $3. So I made a pretty good sell on that.
Yeah.
So then from that point on, it was basically all right. So I gotta split my time now. I'm gonna start reselling, and then of course, little by little, all this stuff started happening too. So I got that big old stuff right here.
Yeah, I remember like when I would call you from Shanghai and you would be like, oh, I went out and found some cool stuff. I was like, I went to the swap or I went somewhere. I got these new cool games and everything. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And you would always tell me all these things that you were picking up and selling on different platforms. So that I thought that was really interesting, and I didn't even know you could do that. I was like, what? You go around buying games for like really good prices? That's pretty crazy. All right, so this leads us into kind of our second question. What were the items you first started looking for, and how did you branch out from there?
The first things were video games because they were easy, compact. You can put them in envelopes and stuff like that. So that was easier. And then after a little while, I kind of branched out to video game related items. So controllers, the smaller systems, 3DSs, stuff like that. Even like figures. Like I bought, I think the first one was a Gears of War figure, and I sold that one. So it was more of still in the video game side, but related to it. It was stuff that goes around to it. From this point on, I've once in a blue moon because I watched now is a guy called Harry Tornado. Sorry, and he flips everything.
Yeah, I've seen his
He
videos.
knows his stuff, his shoes, his clothes, and everything. So I thought, okay, I'll try small things that I could kind of know. So it was more like scientific calculators. If I found a cool little figure that was like handmade, stuff like that, that I think would sell. Or even like wallets or little purses that I thought, okay, it might do well. And of course, I don't know anything about these things. And as gradually I've been learning about them, but there's certain things that I know if I see, I'll pick it up, that I know is going to sell.
So once you started seeing all these like items started selling, that's where you started kind of picking up different kind of things, right?
Yeah.
I think I remember you sold a pair of boots, a cowboy boots or
Oh,
something.
yeah, those are good. I bought those at a pawn shop. So I started moving away from garage sales and the estate sales because they were taking a lot of time and a lot of stuff I wasn't finding that I wanted. And I went to a pawn shop and they had a pair of cowboy boots with the Cowboys emblem on it from Lucchese. They gave Lucchese boots and they had them for like, I want to say 30, 40 bucks. Like, all right, well, they're cowboy boots, there's a lot of cowboy fans, so maybe they'll sell. And they didn't want them. They're like, oh, just take them. All right, I'll take them. Bought them, brought them home, snapped some pictures. I was like, all right, they look nice. I put the size. I even had the box for it, and I said, all right, this is what I want. I think I sold them for like close to $200.
Yeah, I remember that. You were like, here's some cowboy. I'm a cowboy fan, so that's terrible. But anyways, he told me about the boots, and I was like, hey, that's interesting. So,
thank you, Cowboy fans.
Yeah. You buy just about anything.
Yeah.
All right, so next question. What platforms did you use to buy and sell when you first started? What were your favorite kind of platforms? Where would you get your merchandise from?
First time I started garage sales first. That's the first thing I started doing. I was like, okay, I can go to each one, I'll find stuff. And I started noticing that there's a group of people that go to these garage sales and they communicate with each other. So they'll get to a garage sale really early and it'll say like, oh, don't be here till 8. So I'll show up at 7:50. They already got piles of stuff. And I was like,
wow.
Oh man, they can't compete with groups. So I was like, all right. And I was doing estate sales. And those sometimes you have to wait in line to get in or pay to get in. And if you don't find anything, you just spent whatever money to get in, not find nothing. And of course, I started going to swap meets because I've always loved the swap meet. That's the one here. So I started finding more stuff at the swap meets. I said, all right, I'm going to do that first. So those were my beginning ones. That's where I started. Not till later that I started doing the pawn shops and the swap meets instead. So that's where it got a little better for me now on that one.
Yeah, I remember you telling me sometimes you'll find some really good deals at the pawn shop. Yeah. And very good. So next question. When you first started, did you have a lot of disposable income?
Honestly, no. I had very little income. I was paying for the house, bills, I have a wife and son, taking care of all that. So I started with maybe, I want to say $100, not even that much. And that kind of, when I sold those couple of games, I started getting a little more money. And I'd also pinch a little bit from my checks to try to get more of an income to start buying more stuff.
Right.
And gradually it started growing as I started selling more. But to begin with, no, especially because it was just part-time. It wasn't I was full-time. I'm just taking all my money and I'm going to resell. No, I couldn't do that. I have to pay bills. I'm not rich. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm poor.
Yeah. But at least, I mean, you started small, right? And then you built up upon what the little $100 that you had and just kept getting better and better, finding great stuff. And I mean, that's how you got to start, guys. Like, I mean, start little and then buy the small things. Like he said, he started with like really small things, games, even books or whatever you can find, right? Like at any of these places, you can go to thrift shops, like Goodwill, right?
Savers. If they're good in your area,
yeah. I mean, you can find really good stuff to start with. So I mean, it doesn't have to be big. You don't have to walk in and be like, okay, I got thousands of dollars. I'm gonna start flipping.
I'll buy everything here.
Buy everything. Start small. Find something that you could do well, or you can purchase, and then just start building savings and just keep reinvesting. All right, and next question: how did you decide what to keep? I mean, I'm pretty sure you found amazing stuff, right?
A lot of times I told myself, okay, this was my plan. I don't know if anybody else does this. I found a good game, right? So I'm going to put it for a month. I'm going to put it on eBay, Amazon, wherever. If it doesn't sell in a month, I'll take it off and it'll go in my collection.
Oh, okay.
Guilt free for me. So, now this was not right away. This was after at least a year of me selling because I had no disposable income. I had to make sure I had income coming in. And as little by little, and not all of this was me finding this. Some of this was him bringing me stuff for me to have here, for my Vita collection, some of the Zelda stuff, even the other stuff he brought me, some of the PS4 stuff, things like that. He brought me some of the stuff, so that's why I have some of the stuff now. Stuff that me and him have collected together, like on his channel, if you guys have seen, he's collecting complete in box Super Nintendo games that he had as a kid. I played Super Nintendo, but I wasn't as hardcore as you guys, I guess, as you were. Like I played Zelda. I love Zelda. That was my game.
That's a great
I know
one.
a lot of people are like Final Fantasy 4 or 3 and 2. They're gonna be.
That's me.
I didn't start Final Fantasy till PS1 7. So that was mine. That was my favorite Final Fantasy.
Yep.
So now it's a lot of times now if I find doubles, and I was like, okay, I could use that game in my collection. It's a cool game, and then I'll just put it in there. And got my double. I got my other one, and I'll put that one for sale. So this is why it's me and him helping me find some of these, especially the Vita games, because I never find Vita games here. I think I found it once at the media exchange that we went to, and that's about it.
Like so he told me about it. He wanted to collect the Vita games for his collection. So in Shanghai on that app I can find a lot of them. So I just kind of pick them up from him, and then I bring them, and then if he needs them I tell him, okay, keep it. We always like trade each other. We trade games with each other because there's just so many games that we pick up between us that we're like, okay, hey, I'll trade you this one, I'll give you that one, whatever.
And usually value is not the issue.
Yeah.
He traded me the Final Fantasy 2, which is how much is that game like?
I don't know, like $70-$80.
$70-$80.
And then he gave me like some other games, so
he's gonna take this one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan
he
of
wanted,
it.
He wanted to be down to take it. I'm not gonna worry about it.
I added to my
and
Super
it's not
Nintendo.
as expensive as the game he gave me. But then he also needed a Barbie game that I have.
Yeah.
Not the one you guys think that he's been looking
not
for.
that expensive.
That one's super expensive. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Nope.
So I have no problem giving him stuff. I don't mind giving him items, even if he, how do you say, the value to me is not the important part. Like if I were to have the Barbie game of the 3DS, and that's hey, I got it, and even though I paid, let's say $1 for it, and now I can make it. What was it?
Like $3,000.
$3,000 for it. He's like, I need it for my collection. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it because.
And then I can finally get over that hurdle. But like I think that it's the adventure, right?
Yeah,
we come across all these games, and like you said, like you're attached to certain games that have memories for you. Like same here, Final Fantasy, Zelda. But I do the same. Like when I pick up 2 games or I pick up different games, I'm like, why do I want to keep this game? I always ask myself, why do I want to keep this game? Will I play it? Is it something that's been awesome to have a memory with it? And a lot of the games that I did keep in my collection, there's memories, and some of them I'm keeping just because I'm building that 3DS collection. But anyways, it's back to him. So let's move on to the next question. What has been the biggest challenge for you as a collector and as a reseller?
Okay, so as a collector, the hardest part is when I buy something, just like you said earlier, I pick up something and I'm like, okay, do I want to keep this or do I want to sell it? Now it's harder when it's something more expensive.
Yes.
Like I found the Godzilla game once.
Yeah.
And I've never played it, and it's a cool game, I guess. And I tried it out, and I was like, Now I'm thinking, okay, do I really want to keep it for my collection, or do I just want to sell it and make the money? So then for me, that's my train of thoughts. I'm like, okay, and that one I had to sell because I really didn't play it. I really didn't want it. That's my train of thought with collecting. So that's if I find stuff like that. I found Final Fantasy 7. I wanted to keep it because that was my game. I've played 8. I've played 9. I've played the anthology, and there was another one that came out. I forget the other one. And Tactics, and I love Tactics. So when I found those in cases, they were put away, and I even found extra ones, and I think I gave you an 8.
Yeah, you gave me 7 and 9, I think.
9.
Yeah. So.
And then I found Metal Gear, and I played that game, and I love that game. So I kept that one. So I found different ones that are cool and everything that I want to keep, and there's ones that I'm like, okay, I look it up, and it's like it's worth $50, and I paid $4. I'm like. Now,
the challenge, right?
And also reselling. When I started, just like everybody when they start, I was naive about it. I was just buying everything I could. I'm gonna sell this and that, and then you start having, like a lot of the guys that you see like in Phoenix resellers, you get bins and bins of games that are worth from $1 to $8, $9, and you're like, I can't offload these to anybody. No stores are taking these things. GameStop doesn't take them. Until recently, but even then they don't take everything. So then with that challenge that I had to do, that I had to learn the hard way, is I had to get picky. So I had to, I had my phone everywhere I went, I pick up a game and then I turn it over, and if it has a UPC code, boom, scan it. And if it's worth over, I'd say $20, I would, okay. And depending on how much you sold it for too. So I don't want to be like, oh, it's worth 20, how much? Oh, give me 15. Okay, I'm not going to make any money because with the fees and the shipping and you're not gonna make nothing. Now if it was like, oh, it's $2, all right, cool, I'll take it. And then another stepping stone that I had to learn that was a growing pain was try to get a most complete in box. So buying a PS1 game of, let's say, Xenogears, just a disc. Okay, it's cool and everything. I don't have the box. It's a harder sale to somebody, unless they have a box, which is a very how many people are going to be out there? I just have the box of Xenogears. I
Yeah,
need the
no,
disc.
that would
It's
be
be
hard
like,
to find.
no,
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. Now, DS games, Game Boy games, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, sure, you could sell them bare cartridges.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
take them at that. So I had to get picky, and I had to get very, I had to pay attention more to what I was buying. And of course, all the other stuff that I was buying, the little odds and ends that I would sell on the side, that do sell, but they take a little longer. But you have to learn slowly, hey, this is gonna, you got to be more picky. You can't just, oh yeah, that, just give me everything, doesn't
Yeah,
work.
it's a lot of trial and error, right? Like,
Yeah.
will this work? Will not work? Let me buy this one and then see if people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this next question here is kind of interesting. What do you think reselling will look like in a couple of years?
Well, there's a big change now already. It's been changing since I started, but now it's a little harder. You don't find as much stuff. We've gone out last weekend, and you don't find as much stuff. And a lot of people that you buy now, they're like, "Oh, it's worth this much money." And you're like, "No, you're like double the price of what's on eBay." So it's changed where people now like they have a game and it's gold. You're gonna pay me the most amount, and you try to tell them, look, you gotta look at the sold listings, and no, this is what they're asking for. This is what I want. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I've seen that where they're like they don't look at the actual sold comps. They just kind of look. They just search the title and they say, oh, this person's selling it for 55. It's worth 55, right?
And you're like, no, it's sold for $20 at the highest. No.
And
you're not gonna change their mind, so you're just like, okay, well, I'm sorry, hopefully you sell it.
I've seen that.
Good luck.
I've seen that also like in that app that I use, and also like a lot like stores like Goodwill, right? They're raising their prices and they're they're comparing to eBay now. They want to sell them as high, so it's becoming a little bit harder for some of that. I mean, there's still deals to be found. Sometimes, I mean, it's going to happen, right? But some people are becoming more aware of the prices, but they don't know how to exactly look at the right prices, and they're just kind of like pull up a quick, search, and they're like, oh, that's the highest sold. They're gonna take that one and say that's what they're selling for now, when they're not actually searching the comps. Yeah, I do think that's gonna be a big problem. But I also I'm looking at the thing that where a lot of companies are they want to stop manufacturing discs, right? That they want to go all digital. That's gonna be really interesting, because are people gonna want to own things, right? Are they gonna go back and want to own PS2 games, Xbox games, and then eventually Switch games, right? The Switch library right now is huge, right? There's a lot of games in it. Eventually, those people are gonna want to own those, right? If the Nintendo becomes all digital, those are gonna go up in price. So I think there's still opportunity for reselling in the future.
What was the other one? They're talking about the Paper Mario and Switch and those games. Like and even said it with the 3D Mario All Stars. They said we're gonna print a limited amount.
Yeah, that one, right?
And everyone's like, oh yeah, it'll be around forever. And now it's like went up and like,
brand new,
okay.
like $100, and then used like $90.
Yeah, I was like,
so I think I think that people are gonna go back and get that nostalgia, and they're gonna I want to play that PS2 game that I played, or like for the younger generation, they're gonna be like, I want to play that PS4 game that I played, or that Switch game, right? Or something like that, right?
Well, yeah, like lately when they had that show that came out, that Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Those games started selling. I had the PS3 version of it, and it sold like hotcakes. It was just flying off my shelves. I was like, oh, I'm running out of these. And then, so even the PS1 one started selling, because I found one and I had somebody right away, hey, sell me the game. I want to play Twisted Metal. I never knew it was this popular.
And next question here is, as you know, in my last video, I spent $1,000 of his dollars buying him a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, you did.
So what do you think about the things that I bought you? You think they're gonna be good? Are they gonna sell, or?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, the stuff that he brings me, it's like what I find. I can say I find good stuff once every 2 or 3 months. I find something really cool. The stuff that he brings is like, let's compare it. Okay, so I brought, what did I have gotten that's been cool? I found some PSP games off a guy. He sold them to me with some broken PSP games, and they're really good RPGs, right?
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
So they're good games, but compared to the stuff that he brings me sealed games that are brand new, PSP, 3DS, GameCube games of all things is GameCube games. Even a GameCube controller that's brand new.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
A little beat up, but even
it's
this
sealed. I mean, it's brand new. So I mean, he's bringing me stuff that's not just good quality, but higher quality and harder to find, because here, something like that, you're gonna spend $100 just to own it, And I'm not gonna say how much I spent. I'm sure he did in his video how much he spent on my money at one trade, and figures and stuff like that. That's like over 20 years old, brand new in box.
Zelda figures. I hope everything sells. I hope you're happy with that stuff. The Metal Gears. I mean, he got a bunch of PS Vita Metal Gears, right?
Yeah.
He's got some really good games from the last time that I brought him that he's holding on to that are sealed. So eventually, I mean, I think his inventory is just growing. And if you ever like one day, I think if you ever just like for 1 week disappear from your other job, your full-time job, and just start like posting everything you have, maybe yeah, you're gonna have a lot of sales. But that kind of leads me into close to some of the other questions that I have here. Finding time to post and sell. You have a full-time job, you have another job that you do other things. Where do you find the time? Like, how do you manage posting and selling things and then managing your inventory?
I would say it used to be Monster Drinks, but then I can't do that no more. I'm too old for that. I sleep very little, maybe like 6 hours at the most. So I'm up, I go to work, I get home, and sometimes I come straight home and spend time with my son, or you know, I have some stuff to post. If not, you've seen it when I do it. I go to the pawn shops, I'll hit it on the way home, I'll take a route to get home, and then, you know, I'll find stuff, maybe I won't find stuff. And sometimes it'll sit in this office for a week or a month before I even post it. And it'll take me time to find time to do it, because come the weekend when I'm off, with my schedule right now that I'm off on the weekends, Saturday will always be swap meet, pawn shops, whatever there is. And Sunday is the gathering of the nerds where we go and play D&D. So I gotta, that's my enjoyment. I don't drink, I don't party, I don't smoke, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I love my motorcycle and all that stuff, but D&D is something I've had since high school. And so it's managing my work, which is basically your 8 hours a day. And then I have my reselling, which is either finding, packing, shipping, or putting online. It's hard because you need all this time in the day just to do one thing, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna post this stuff online. And then you get home and you eat, and you're like, I don't want to get up. But then you're like, okay, I gotta post at least 5 things, because it's not as easy to post an item. You still have to take good pictures, make sure they look nice, you know, the lighting, all that stuff. Post it online, put your description, you know, make sure you put the right postage and the measurements and the weight, and then put it on. All right, there's one. And you go to the next one. And sometimes it's gotten quicker for me because I've done it a lot, so I can do it quicker. The only things that are harder are the bigger items. So if I'm selling a figure that's an odd shape, size, and weight, and I got to be careful with, and I got to be more tedious with that. Okay, you know, what box? I got to find the box first, that I know it's going to fit in comfortably, that when I wrap it and everything, it's not going to be bubbling up on me, that I know it's going to be safe. So that takes longer. Now when it's a game, it's easy because you can use a small box or little envelopes and you're good to go. Just slide it in, you're good to go. But that takes time, so everything adds up. You're going to be busy, so just letting you know, if you decide to resell, even part-time, you're going to get busy because you're going to be looking for stuff nonstop. And there's times where you'll drive somewhere and I'll be passing by a pawn shop and I'll get this little, I guess like an inkling, like, hey, just stop real quick, just see what's in there. All right, so I'll pull in, and at times, believe it or not, I find something really good, and I'm like, dude, thank God I stopped. I found this great game. I think one time I told you, I think like 2 Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3s. I found 2 of them in one box. I bought them for $3. One was a complete case, right? The other one was just a disc. Each one sells for about $100. If I hadn't stopped, if I hadn't like not listened to myself and not stopped in, would have been out $200 just on that. And sometimes it's just that little inkling, but it's gonna take time. You're gonna spend the time doing this stuff, and you rather, once you start doing it, you're gonna know whether you want to keep going, or you're gonna be like, nah, this is too much. I'm just gonna do my job or whatever, you know. So I mean, that's why when I see was it Phoenix Resale? And well, Retroic, when he used to do it the old style, I mean, these guys, they put the time in.
What are some tips that you could give people?
If you want to resell video games, it's gonna be harder because a lot of people are doing it now, honestly. I've seen it firsthand here, and then you can see it online on the internet. Now, if you want to try reselling, I've seen people that resell just shoes, clothes, house things like that. You could possibly, if you know about that stuff, or purses, stuff like that, I would say you could try it part-time, see how you like it, see how it works with you. And if you can find enough stuff that'll supply your online store or wherever you're going to sell it, you're going to have enough inventory coming in with time. Because if you're going to say right now, hey, I'm going to start reselling video games right now, it's going to be hard now because it's, one, swap meets, pawn shops, all these other places, they know what they got now, so now they're going to start charging you more for it. Secondly, you have so many people, and I've seen them every time I go, and they recognize me because they see me and they're like, they're walking faster, and then they're walking ahead of me, and I'm like, okay, everybody's walking fast. But I mean, sometimes it's not just being ahead of the person, it's having a good eye, because sometimes I'll see stuff that they don't see, and then they'll catch me grabbing it, and they're like, oh, just the way it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But if you want to resell, because if it's going to be video games, it's going to be harder. It is. I'm not going to lie. It's going to get harder. I mean, look at Phoenix Resell now. Now, not only does he doesn't really hunt anymore. Now he has people ship them the stuff to him.
Yeah.
And he just gives them a list. Here's what I'm going to pay for this stuff. You know, I mean, if I ever wanted to retire, then I'll probably just sell my stuff to him.
Yeah.
And just look, this is everything I got. How much are you going to give me?
50% of price charting.
Exactly.
60%.
Yeah. But I mean, these other people, they just want to get rid of stuff, so they're gonna be like, they see his thing, just sell him the stuff.
It makes it cuts out all that time thing that we talked about, right? All that shipping, the processing, everything. You just outsource it. You're outsourcing all the hard work and time consuming stuff to another person, and I think you're just collecting inventory, right? Looking around inventory, and everything else is given to somebody else. I mean, it's a good way to do it, right? But I guess I mean, if you're looking to resell. Find something that you're knowledgeable on, that maybe it's available in your area, that is not very competitive, that you're not competing with a bunch of people. And
do you really enjoy going out and hunting for this stuff?
Exactly,
that's the main thing.
Exactly.
Like, I love going to the swap meet. That was a no give. That was automatically. I love going to the swap meet because you find a lot of random stuff. But you got to really enjoy going out there, spending the time out there, whether it's cold, hot, windy, dusty, whatever it is. I mean, if you really want to go out there, you're going to go out there. And believe me, with time, you're going to get that little inkling in your head. You're going to be like, let me just go in here real quick. And believe it or not, a lot of times it works. You find stuff that you don't even think about. You like he was talking about calculators. There's so many college students. They need calculators. I mean,
and they're expensive. I remember buying those things. And another thing, like we were talking about earlier, is build relationships with people, right? He's got really good relationships and connections with like some of the pawn shop management, and they will always tell him, or they'll call him, right, like with some inventory that they have for you and stuff like that. So building connections, guys, making sure that you are good to the people that supply you with things, and you just again get to know them on a personal level. When we go to a swap, a lot of the people are telling him like, hey, nice to see you again, how are you, blah blah blah. So there's a connection there that they kind of know why he's there and what he does, right? As you can see, guys, this is a little bit of insight from my friend Edgar and his journey as a reseller, from starting with $100 all the way to where he is now, and this beautiful collection that he has. And again, guys, it's an adventure. You're gonna have your good times and your bad times, but the most important thing is that you
better have fun with this, because if you don't have fun doing this, it's not worth it.
Yeah. You gotta have fun, you gotta enjoy it, and there's gotta be something in it for you, not just besides money, because then it's gonna become a job. And sometimes when things become a job, you don't like them.
You don't enjoy it anymore.
Enjoy it anymore.
A job again.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and until next time, guys, we'll see you again, and have a good one.
Latest.
Yep.
You was.
Yeah, no, right? That's why you were about to start laughing. You were about to start laughing. I was like,
He's gonna see balls. He's gonna see balls.
No, I better ring.